Hello and welcome to another MCO update on QNT. The QNT Quant chart is still in a sideways range. We talked about it a few times before, and we're still dealing here on the larger time frame with this ongoing sideways, correction. Yeah, this is not a trend. This is just a correction which started at the top of the last bull market. We had a sharp decline, which I'm labeling as wave A, which is the first move down of a three-wave correction. So we have this wave A. Then the B wave seems to be a triangle pattern, which might be nearly complete. This would be an A, B, C, D, E structure. That E wave can still extend a little bit further, but it's important to understand that once the B wave has topped, we will likely see a break below the red line. This is the swing low from August last year at around $50, 50. That is a very, very important level on the QNT chart. And a C wave to the downside would likely unfold in 5 waves and send us maybe even into the $10 area. You might think that sounds far away. Well, it does. But if we look at the standard targets for such a C wave, we measure the length of the A wave. We go to the high of the B wave, which would be the end of the triangle. I don't necessarily assume the triangle has finished, so we might see a little bit more upside overall, but it is obviously constrained, you could say, here to these trend lines. But sort of the 100% extension level, which is an ideal target for a C wave, it's located at $12.33. Now, to be honest, whether it's going to be 13, 14, 15, doesn't really matter so much. It's important to understand that below $50, we likely have a confirmed downside breakout. This break below $50 would also invalidate any bullish structure here, or let's say directly bullish structure. Because we could technically see this here as a bullish triangle in a wave 4, as long as we are holding, especially here, the April low, which formed at around $58.80. And if we see a break above the last swing high from November at around $173, but as long as we stay below 173, below the trend line and below that level, we could easily interpret this as a B wave triangle. Now, triangles are patterns of indecision, so we don't necessarily have on this time frame a very attractive setup. There might be one for short-term traders, for those who are speculative, or who are looking for speculative setups. Because what you see here on this chart, on the QNT chart, shorter time frame, 4-hour time frame, you see that from this swing low in April, we had a 5-wave move up. This is everything zoomed in. And we could now be in a 3-wave pullback. So this could be, for example, from a short-term bullish point of view, just be the B wave of the E wave of that triangle. So the overall triangle can still extend. But because we have a 5-wave move up, we can watch if the bulls can defend this support area, which we would expect to be reached. And then we might get one more high. And we could test this November high, December-November high. Important is to understand these are Fibonacci support levels between $93.40 and $68.80. And there are 4 Fibonacci levels here. And these might be tested, so we can pay attention to those when we test these, when we test this area. And it might very well be that we are already in the C wave here to the downside. So I would expect a test of this support area next. Definitely interesting for those who are interested in QNT and interested in potential short-term trade setups. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.